Good morning. Welcome to day 855 of our Everyday God. The title of our devotion today is The God Who Restores Us Back to Him. Have you experienced abundance in your life and then one day you find that everything has turned upside down and you're left but to cry out for help, for God to remember you and His promises? In today's devotion, we will find out what happened to Judah as we study the last chapter of the book of Lamentations. Our devotion is taken from Lamentations chapter 5, verse 4 to 6, which read, "We must pay for the water we drink. The wood we get must be bought. Our pursuers are at our necks. We are weary, we are given no rest. We have given the hand to Egypt and to Assyria to get bread enough." Lamentation, or the book of Jeremiah, is not only the book that we read about Israel lamenting and crying out. We read about David's lament to God in Psalm as he was being pursued and felt defeated. And in the book of Job, we read Job lamenting to God when worse things start happening to him. But then both David and Job receive vindication from God as God restores David's life and faith, as well as Job's financial and personal life. But in the book of Lamentation, until the very end, they cry out to God, not knowing what tomorrow will be. The book of Psalm, Job, and Lamentation have things in common, and that is they knew who God is and His many good attributes, as they remind themselves of God's nature and true character. In Lamentation verse 19, it read, "But you, O Lord, reign forever. Your throne endures to all generations." The author knew God's unchanging nature and that His reign is forever, and it is for all generation. That all the sufferings they are experiencing is because of their father and their sins. They are at the hands and mercy of Babylon and Assyria because of sin. They made a wrong allegiance with the wicked people and not with God. It must be heartbreaking to experience all the triumphs and victories of Israel before and their experience of God's faithfulness, and then suddenly everything was taken away, that even the water they drink needs to be paid, and they must be enslaved to their enemies to eat. Their life is in danger and is being pursued day and night. On and on they describe all their grief and the painful things they are going through. Judah knew all this is because of sin, that even their dignity and values as children of God is no more. They felt like God has abandoned them, but they knew that only God can help them and deliver them. They cry out to God in verse 20, saying, thinking that God has forgotten and forsaken them. Those are not new to us, for we know we experience heartbreak as well. Like all painful things have no end, and so, like them, we come to God and ask for His help. Judah knew that they have gone far from God and that they need restoration, and that only God can restore them back to God. That is why they cry out and pray to God in verse 21, which read, "Restore us to yourself, O Lord, that we may be restored." Because Jeremiah knew once they are restored back to God, God will also renew their days like old times, and abundance will again return to Judah. The grace and mercy of God to Judah, which is extended to us, is beyond our comprehension. But we acknowledge that only God can restore us and return us back to Him. Only God can make us return back to Him and bask in His glory again, if we only humble ourselves and ask for His forgiveness. And so I end this devotion by reminding everyone to pray each day that God to restore us back to Himself, for we need Him each day to restore and refresh us. Thank you, Emmanuelites, and be blessed and restored.